In 2025, every single crypto company needs a KOL strategy. Users are drowning in ads, memes, cat videos. So to decide what they're going to use, what products they're going to use, what kind of coins they're going to buy, they're going to turn to influencers, aka KOLs that they trust. And yeah, I do the same thing. Like when I want to buy a new laptop, I'm going on YouTube immediately to find out what's good on Reddit. So here's how it works. Your project is going to partner with KOLs who align with your values. And you're probably like, I already know what KOL management is. Yeah, but it's kind of complex. And this is why a lot of people hire it out to agencies. One, you have to find the KOLs that actually have a big following. It's not always necessarily easy to do. Two, you have to vet that following. You have to see like, hey, is this some kind of just bot farm in Malaysia that, has no beneficial value to my company? And three, can I measure the actual impact of their post? So, we've got the good KOLs that aren't going to dump our token immediately. And can we measure the impact of their specific post? So can we do attribution? So those are the three main things with KOL management. I found an amazing tool that allows you to do this. It's called Cookie3. I'm not sure if you've ever used it, but it's essentially a marketing technology software, and they just rolled out this KOL intelligence feature, and I'm absolutely obsessed with it. So first, when you log in, you can see this KOL intelligence tool here on the left-hand sidebar. They've got a bunch of other stuff, but for the most part, I focus on KOL stuff. So then you can see all of the trending accounts across crypto Twitter. You can see the trending accounts, you can see the trending tokens, trending narratives. So everything that's popping off here, and you can see even the top KOLs over the last 7 days. You might be like, hey, that's all well and good, but I'm trying to measure the impact for my specific project. And you're like, okay, we hear you. All right, so let's imagine we're going to be working with Arbitrum as an example. So we could look at Arbitrum, and then let's do a little search for them. And let's say Arbitrum approaches us and they want us to put together a KOL campaign. So one, they want to identify KOLs. Two, they want to gauge their specific audience and see if it kind of aligns with what they're doing. And then three, we want to measure the impact. Now, if you're interested in the measuring the impact of the post, comment below campaign and I'll make another video on that. But for this one, we're just going to be doing the analysis of the KOLs, finding the KOLs, and then the analysis. So right down when we scroll, we have what we call organic KOLs. These could also be termed natural KOLs, because when people think of KOL management, oftentimes they think of, hey, we're going to reach out to a bunch of these big name accounts. They're going to dump our token immediately because they don't actually care that much about our project. So instead, what's much better is to identify your natural KOLs, the people that are already posting about your project without any kind of value exchange occurring, right? So what we can do is we can come down here and we can search through all of the traffic, and we can see, okay, who's mentioning Arbitrum? What is the kind of score? So, we have essentially a score that will say, hey, how good of a KOL is this? What is their essentially clout score, for lack of a better term? And then we can also see hey, how many followers do they have? How many posts are they making about Arbitrum in this specific 30-day window? And then we can see what's their smart engagement. And smart engagement is this idea that, we don't care so much if somebody has some kind of bot farm or, airdrop hunters, people that don't necessarily drive elite opinion in the space. Yes, it's good to get engagement, but really you want people that are going to be using your product, that are going to be really good advocates. So here we can find out one, who's already posting about our account, who's already, done 81 posts about Arbitrum in the last 30 days. This is probably someone we want to reach out to. And then in KOL management, oftentimes you're going to tier the different KOLs. So you might have the mega accounts, and these are people that have hundreds of thousands of followers. Let's see if I can see it right here. 40,000 followers, that's a big account. 1 million followers, Chainlink, they're a big account. So obviously, if you're running a campaign, those are going to be the people that are going to demand, say, top dollar. But here you can view smart engagement. It's okay, well, who has the best engagement? Who has the most insiders in crypto Twitter that are actually engaging with their post when they post? So some amazing things you can see is you can see how many organic posts people are getting on a specific day. You can also come in here and let's say we want to add Hunter to a KOL list. So let's make a KOL list. Maybe we'll call it ARB, promotion, something like that, name it whatever you want. And then we could come in here, we could look at okay, Steven, he looks pretty good. He's got 30 posts, 48 smart engagement. We could add him, or you could even segment it. You could be okay, Hunter, he's got 12,000 followers. So maybe we call him KOL medium. And then we'd call these KOL whales. So you can segment it in that way. You can specifically look through the lists. right? So another thing that is really helpful, because like, of course you can just click into this, like we could click into Hunter, we could see all of the posts where he's talking specifically about Arbitrum. We could see where he's getting like the highest smart engagement. So like, what is he specifically talking about? Another really nice thing is oftentimes, you have a limited budget. So what you're going to look for is essentially who is up and coming, who is getting smart engagement. So here we can see like Hunter is one of the top 25 KOLs by posts. Let's see versus smart engagement. Hey, Eternal AI, they might be someone to look out for. Hey, Boop, AJ Warner. Then we could go to price impact. Now, this is if you're really tracking, say, the token price and you want to see like essentially somewhat of attribution of what each influencer is doing. One of the things that I really love, and this always takes a little bit to load, but essentially it will show you a diagram. And let's look at it real quick before it loads. We've got impressions here, and then we've got essentially underperformers. So these would be people that are maybe posting about a project and we wouldn't necessarily like their engagement isn't so good. So we wouldn't necessarily want to work with them. These are like people that are essentially on the come up and they might, not ask for as much money, or, hey, these are people that have just like incredible, engagement. Maybe we look at somebody like our friend Andy from the Roll Up, and you can kind of create a matrix. So one thing real quick, let's look at a different project that might have more of a mix. Let's look at something like Hive Mapper in the DPIN space. Let's do a little search here. So I'll give you one of the like large foundations, like an Arbitrum. Then we'll go for like, still a very large project in the DPIN space, but obviously not nearly as like, big as Arbitrum. So let's take a look and see like, hey, this person, like we might not want to work with them. And we can look at their posts, like they might just be an underperforming KOL. That's so funny, Masari's on there. And then you might want to go to these stars, like these people like, hey, we've got an AI agent. Hey, we've got Kyle here. So let's look at maybe Kyle. We'd put him into a group and maybe we make a list of, DPIN yappers that would be really good to reach out to. So this is essentially allows us to create a list. One feature I really love is that you can click into a specific creator and you can see all of these different metrics about them. So we can see like, hey, this guy is like an expert level yapper. We can even set a time frame. So maybe there was a time when he wasn't posting as much. Like it seems like in August, maybe he was on vacation or something like that. And you can even track his smart following over time. You can see how it grew, and maybe he's on like more of an upward trajectory than other creators. There's just so many good stats. So like, let's say you even wanted to look at yourself, or you were running some kind of ghostwriting agency. Like this isn't just good for KOL marketers. Like it's good for obviously CMOs. It's good for KOL management. It's good for ghostwriters. Like let's say you were ghostwriting for a founder and you were doing founder-led marketing. You'd want to track their smart followers, their smart engagement over time and make sure that's rising. That way you actually have some kind of measurable KPI and you can pull back to. And then one of the big things in KOL management is like, hey, you need to help your KOLs create posts. Like, it's hard being a content creator out there. So now we have access to people's top posts. We have top posts that are specifically about our project, and we can give them access to, either templates to, tweet threads, things of that nature, to try to inspire them, to help them create more content about our, project. So one, we can go through the list of our organic KOLs. We can segment them into, say, more organic KOLs. We can segment them into paid KOLs. We can segment them based on their audience side, their engagement size. We can put them in lists, and we can even run campaigns. I'll save that for a future video. If you're interested in campaigns, comment down below KOL Campaign, and I will do that video. Looking forward to speaking with you soon, and definitely check out Cookie3. I absolutely love this tool.